Telling how you can win them. But first of all, Victoria, welcome to Going Live.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to have you in. This is my pathetic attempt at a red nose.
Yes, isn't it? Sort of rather misshapen.
sort of spiky. Get in here and look at it. Get in here. It's not bad. You can't rub it out.
It's indelible now, so that's
one that you can't actually rub it out. We have 50 of these cards to give away.
You 49 now, you spoiled that one. There you are. Sorry. Just turn over to ITV for 2 seconds.
No, don't do that. There's nothing on there. Okay, so this is the
steady on now.
The complete sets here. You get your card, you get some colouring pens as well, and also transfers down the bottom, so you can colour them in, do whatever you like. We've got 50 of them to give away. You can colour red noses on them if you wanted. And the competition address, I'll give you in a moment after the question, which is, who put the smile on the Mona Lisa's face? Who painted her? Who put the smile on the Mona Lisa's face? The address, as I mentioned, is Going Live, BBC Television, London W12, 7RJ. Get off record. Put those to one side. We asked a couple of weeks ago if our viewers to Going Live could nominate who they would like to go in the gunk tank and what they would like that gunk to be. So have you got a couple there you could read out for us?
Yes, some goodies here. This one is from Ben Evans, from Garston near Watford, and he says, I nominate for the gunk tank Sarah Green. At that time, a girl went in. I'm sorry, yes, can you just get the noise down, I'm trying to talk here. He says, I think I should have in it, and this is the clever part, green gauges, green mould, green cheese, green peas, brackets mushy, close brackets, green washing up liquid, be quiet, green fly, green teeth to add some bite, green slime, lamb juice, green cheese, lamb jelly, turtle soup, frog's legs, rotted cabbage, lion jam, green tape, and just to end, a touch of red sauce. Then it says, sorry Sarah, but that's very small writing. Sorry.
There's one here that's come from Rebecca Simmons, who's in Cornwall. I think Andy Peters should go in the gunk tank. It should be made of mushy peas, baked beans, which feature very heavily baked beans, porridge, blancmange, and jelly. Thank you. There you go, another one.
Yes, there's another. This is from Cecilia from Bury. Now, I'm from Bury, so hello, Cecilia. I'm much older than you, so I've never met you. It says, I think that Sarah Green is going to the gunk tank. Yes, I think so. Like 100% on my opinion. So, and she says, what should go in it? Slops, potatoes spelt wrong, peel, cooked cold vegetables spelt very wrong, jelly, stink bombs, mud mixed with slime mixed with mud, it's up to you, cream, bits of mess, specify what that could be, dry leaves mixed with pink slime, and stuff that smells.
There's one here that's come from Holland. Peter or Paul Vetterwinkel, who's in Holland, of course, going live all over Europe now on our satellite. Andy Peters should go in the gunk tank with cold custard and red jelly mixed together.
Yeah, that sounds rather nice, actually.
Who would you put in there?
Who would I put in? Norma Major, I think. I'd like to see one of those nice dresses covered in custard.
And what would you mentioned custard, what else do you think should be a part?
I think school gravy, congealed gravy would be a good one, actually. And peas are a goodie. Or anything that's been left on a plate from breakfast and scraped in.
Or baked Alaska from school, that was always a good one.
You never had that, no? Things like that in Bury.
We've had a whole stack of entries in so far of nominations for who should go in the gunk tank and what it should be made out of. Now, there's still plenty of time for you to enter, but here is the table of results so far. So there we are, those are the results so far. There's still time to vote, but you've got to be quick because we need your entry by next Thursday at the absolute latest, because the result will be announced on Friday at 10 to 5 on CBBC. The actual gunking will take place later on Friday evening on BBC One on Comic Relief at 8 o'clock. So get your entries in. Who would you like to see go in, and what would you like it to be made out of? And your involvement in Comic Relief really stretches for the record, isn't it? I mean,
that's my big contribution this year.
And this is a double A-sided record, isn't it? Which is important to say that you're not on the B side.
I feel as if I am, but I'm not. No, I'm the other A side.
Has this opened up a whole new world for you, the world of superstardom in pop?
Well, it's about time, I really think. 37 and a half, it's about time. I was a pop megastar. I know Madonna's panicking.
Would you do me a favour? We'll come back and take some calls a little bit later on. Would you, because I know that a lot of what you do really revolves around your impressions of people and looking at how they are and how they work and how they operate. Would you analyse the Going Live team for me? When we have a chat, it's a tricky task. When we have a chat a bit later on, see what you've come up with.
Okay,
thank you very much indeed. Your questions? Managed to sort out that little look at the personalities of Going Live.
I had to think about it because I don't usually take the Mickey Mouse programmes as I like. I do actually quite like this programme. do think it's good. I mean, I've taken the mickey out of other children's programmes, but not this one. So I think if I was going to write a sketch about going like that, then I would start in the makeup room, and I would have you and Sarah, I think, haggling over the Carmen rollers probably as to who was going to have them first. And then you'd have you introducing the programme, saying we're having an action-packed fun-filled programme, and then putting on 2 hours of really lousy cartoons and going back to bed. Hello. Good morning. I know you need the exposure. And then I think I'd have Sarah on the telephone with the teenage problems and being very, very sympathetic and caring and go, oh yes, you have acne, yes, and halitosis, and no boyfriend, not surprised. And then I think at the very end I would have you and Sarah leaving the studio and you getting out of your faded Levi's and your cowboy boots and putting on some polyester slacks and a cardigan with going off an afternoon's train spotting or sticking stamps on lampshades, something like that. I'm sorry, Sarah's been chatting to me earlier. That's what I would do.
Excellent, excellent. See, and how long did that take you to think? When I mentioned that to you, I mean, we did, I would say that we did mention it to you earlier on.
Yes, you did. Well, that was on the air. You don't need to tell them that. They saw that.
How long would it take you to
actually
weave a whole story?
Do the whole thing. That would be about a day, I suppose, to do about 3 minutes. I'm about a 3-minute a day girl, just about.
Okay, all right. Let's get on to the telephones. There's lots of questions. So let's go straight away to line 1, and I think it's Claire O'Sullivan.
Hello.
Hello, Claire. Up you go.
I would like to ask Victoria, how did she get into comedy, and did her family support her?
No, they threw me out on the street, aged 14 and a half, I'm sorry to say. Yes, they've been a huge support. I got into comedy. I went to university first to try and be an actress, and they said, no, I'm sorry, you can't act. Please sweep the stage. And then I got into songwriting, and I sneaked myself onto local television in Birmingham, where I was at university, and sort of slipped through the back door that way and got my union card, and just went on from there. It took me a long time to get going.
Is that where a lot of your local television sketches come from?
Yeah, so over the years, as I've nipped in and done television programmes, I've kept my eye open for what goes on.
Thank you very much, Claire, for that. Let's take another call. Let's go to Richard Lilly, who's on 2.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi.
I'd like to ask you, have you ever been influenced by all the modern comedians, such as Ben Elton or Lenny Henry?
Well, no, because they're about 15 years younger than me, you see, so that would have been a bit difficult. I've always tried not to be influenced by people. I always think it's better to follow your own line. I mean, I do like what other people do, and I do like watching them, but I've tried not to get drawn into a sort of joint sense of humour, but just follow my own line. I think that's better. And so did they. I mean, Ben and Lenny are totally different as well.
Thank you very much indeed for that. Down the end of the line, Philip has a question.
During your school days, were you naughty?
Yes, I was in deep trouble from the age of 11 till about 17 and a half when I left. I spent the whole time standing in the corridor. I went to a reunion and people recognised me with the cleaners.
What sort of stuff were you doing? Were you mischievous or naughty?
Well, I was naughty and lazy and dirty and grubby and just generally a hopeless case. I never did any homework. And sometimes I used to, when we handed all our essays in, I used to steal like the bottom 10 and just throw them away. And the teacher would say, I don't seem to have, from S to W. And I said, well, mine was handed in, mine wasn't ever there at all. The poor 9 girls who'd done their homework, it's all in the bin.
Were you ever sort of...
Sorry, girls.
Were you ever like a practical joker? Did you ever do that sort of thing?
Oh, I used to put people in cupboards, but not on a regular basis.
Yeah, sure. Okay, back to the telephones now. And Lisa Smith. Lisa is on 3. Hello, 3.
Hello.
Hello, Lisa. Off you go.
Do you have any ambition except comedy?
No. I love comedy. I don't have any ambition to play Hamlet or do anything like that. I just like to be funny. Thank you.
Okay, nice. Simple answer there. Thank you very much indeed for that. Leon has a question.
Have you ever done a show where nobody has laughed?
Yes. I did a whole television series. Yes, when I first started, I could not get laughs because it's a very difficult job to do, and it takes you a long time to learn it. And I had quite a few years playing folk clubs and things like that, and I used to go on, and people would first start talking, and then they'd start snoring, and then I'd go home. It took me a long time.
What was it what change did you have to make?
Well, you just sort of have a little twist where suddenly your sense of humour gets in tune with everybody else's, or you find the knack of writing a line or using the right word, the funny word and not the unfunny word. You just have to do it. You have to have those few years where you go on and you're not funny, and then you just click and you can do it. It took me about 4 years, I think, before I actually cracked the cake. It was desperate for it was desperate for the audience, certainly.
Right, Jane, we've sort of talked about this. So,
do you get your characters from real people?
Slightly. Not not from famous people, but from people I meet. But by the time you've sort of taken their funny bits and mixed them up with other people, nobody would, I think, actually recognise themselves in a sketch.
Would you not do people who would recognise themselves?
No, because that isn't what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to just sort of take the funny things from real life and just plonk them on the page. I like to have, I like to be more creative about it than that, really.
Back onto the phone. And Simon Candish, I think, is on 4.
Hello.
Hello, Simon. Away you go.
Would you ever like to make a film?
Yeah, I would. I'm going to write a film. I'm going to write a film when I've finished my tour, which finishes in the middle of April. I'm going to go home and write a screenplay and then see if it's funny. And if it's not funny, it goes in the bin with the last 3 things I've written.
Is that the first attempt at a film?
Yeah, I did one adaptation of a book a few years ago, which was never made, but this will be an original one, so we'll see.
Have you ideas of what you want it to be, what you want to do?
I think what I've got, I think, is a good idea. So I'm going to push on with that and see.
And you're not going to...
No.
Tell us what it is. Okay, fair enough. Would you be in it?
Yes. It's more fun. I don't like just writing things and then sending them off, because then you never get out of the house. I like to go out and interfere with people and say, why are you doing that? Why are you wearing those trousers?
Right, fair enough. Thank you for that. We can't wait for that one. Jenny Evans is on 5. Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
Away you go.
I'd like to ask Victoria, does she ever get help from other famous friends when she writes her script?
No, not a scrap. I've obviously know the wrong sort of famous people with no sense of humour. No, what I do is when I write a television series, I write it all in my own house, in my office, and then I bring it in. And then we all learn it, so actually nobody else gets a chance of any input at all. They do things like, bringing the biscuits and making the tea, the important jobs.
Thank you very much indeed for that. Tia.
Has your husband ever explained to you how to do any of these tricks?
Yes, he's explained to me how to do all of them. I know all of the tricks, and I'm not telling you anything.
He's not supposed to do that, is he?
Yes, but as long as you can trust. You can trust one person. He never tells anybody else, and I've never told anybody how to do tricks. I used to do tricks. We used to do a show together, and he taught me how to cut people's heads off with an electric saw, which was all right, as long as I remember the various steps along the way. It could get horribly wrong sometimes.
So do you, if he has a new trick,
yeah.
Of course we've had Jeff on the programme anyway,
yeah.
Times. Would he, and he stopped this place, and people have been glued to try and fade, even when you're by the side and you can't tell what's going on. But has he tested new tricks out on you instead of when you come over here and pour this over your head?
Yes, he does. Yes, I've got very long straight hair now. Yes, he says, he shows me a trick and says, like, can you see anything sticking out of my back pocket?
Great question, thank you for that, Tia. And finally, Jenny has a question about comic relief and the Smile Song.
What inspired you to write the Smile Song?
Well, just ages. When I was last on going live, and I was sitting on that terrible ferry, having a cold wind going up my jacket, and suddenly popped into my head. I said, what I'd like to do is do a song next year for comic relief. And so the phone rang after about 6 months later, and I'd forgotten all about it. They said, right, we'd like you to do a song. So I thought, well, a jolly song, that seems like the obvious thing, something about smiling, because it's comic relief. So I did the best I could do.
What are the important things about comic relief, do you think? What's important to you about it in getting involved?
Well, the important thing is it's a very sound organisation, and it's extremely well organised, because there's nothing worse than contributing what you have to offer and then finding that perhaps the money's not going where it should, or the money's being wasted, or it's not been done efficiently. I just find it such a completely healthy organisation. I'm really pleased to get involved, because they give a good product. I think what you get comic relief night, you get a good night of television, or you can buy the comic, or you can buy the red nose, you can buy the sweatshirt, you can buy, it's all very good stuff. It's not saying, oh, we're just going to get a lot of celebrities and we're going to mess about and have a jolly good time. It's actually, it's actually really well organised, and I'm very happy to be part of it.
We're very happy to have had you on the programme this morning. Thank you very much indeed. Best of luck with the Smile Song, which they're saying is possibly number 5.
Could be, yes.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
One other little bit of information for you, and that is if you are in London, in Covent Garden this afternoon, if you're around there, or being taken down there, or whatever, this afternoon between 1 and 3, Lenny Henry and Jonathan Ross will be signing comic relief books at the Café Munchen in Covent Garden. So go down there and get your book signed and support comic relief. Victoria, thank you very much indeed. A pleasure as always. And now, we're waiting for this, the Smile Song.